This beef and broccoli stir-fry has 3 big surprises. Number 1, I cook nearly everything stir-fry style in a wok, but I don't limit myself to Asian sauces, as you'll see with one of my 16 secret sauces here in this dish. Number 2, I replace rice with nutrient-rich, crispy, oven-roasted potatoes. And the number 3 surprise? I don't use recipes. I use whatever arrives fresh in my weekly mystery box from my local co-op or natural foods grocer. Here I have ground beef, broccolini, morel mushrooms, baby potatoes, green onions, and garlic scapes. Our first step is prep, peaceful prep, vibrant green broccolini, a more delicate version of broccoli. So all parts of the plant are easy to cook. I cut off the florets, tear them apart at the natural break for smaller bites, and then chop the remaining stems, discarding the last brittle inch or so. Broccoli is rich in antioxidants and other beneficial plant compounds that are good for eye and heart health and disease prevention. Next, the mighty morel mushroom, highly prized. These are only found in the wild, unlike many other mushrooms that are domestically reproduced. They have a meaty texture, a heavenly earthy flavor, and packed full of nutrients, like iron for strong bones and vitamin D. To prepare the morels, simply slice in half, or quarters, or into little ringlets, whatever feels right to you. Set aside for a quick rinse just before cooking in a moment. Next up, these fresh baby potatoes for a crispy oven roasting. Now, admittedly, I don't include a lot of carbs in my diet, but these are grown by our local full-bushel family-owned farm, and the flavor is amazing. They are my treat for replacing rice in this dish. Potatoes contain 3 times more minerals than rice, such as phosphorus, potassium, and magnesium, when you leave the skin on. To prepare, simply cut into cubes or slices, so they're sure to roast up quickly and evenly in the oven. Next, slice your spring green onions into little ringlets, first discarding the root ends. Also called scallions, they have a mild, spicy, almost peppery flavor and a vibrant color. Garlic scapes are a farmer's market find and usually available for a limited time in season. They are the long green shoots that grow from the garlic bulb, and an amazing way to add garlicky flavor to your favorite dish with added crunch. But honestly, any garlic will do here. To prepare, cut first into smaller pieces and then a rock chop. Hold the tip of your knife with one hand and pivot as you mince with the other. Garlic is one of the staples I keep on hand because it contains antioxidants that help protect your body against oxidative damage. Now, gather your trusted sheet pans, one of my 3 go-to pans in my kitchen kit, and place your diced or sliced potatoes for oven roasting. Coat with your favorite healthy fat. My go-to for potatoes is extra virgin coconut oil. I simply scoop a tablespoon or so out of the container, no melting required, and massage into these delicious, nutritious root vegetables. Then spread evenly, so steam can rise during roasting, which allows for crisping and browning. Finally, a generous sprinkling of kosher salt for sparkle. Simply repeat for the remaining potatoes with sheet pan number 2. And then into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit on roast setting, if you have it, for 20 minutes. I make sure to rotate sheet pans and stir potatoes for another 10 to 15 minutes, so potatoes brown evenly. While the potatoes are in the oven, pull your ground to bring to room temperature. Here I have a combination 1 pound ground beef and 1 pound seasoned ground pork sausage. I jump in with clean hands and massage together. I use many combinations like ground paleo that includes powerhouse organ meats, or ground lamb, a high-quality protein source that's been both grass-fed and grass-finished, so no unwanted feedlot ingredients that can cause havoc to our bodies. I spread evenly and then salt. We bring to room temp so the meat can brown and cook more evenly. This makes a huge difference in sautéing. Our last peaceful prep step is to give our mushrooms a quick soak to release the dirt and any critters, as they do live and grow in the forest, which adds to their rare beauty and nutrients. Then simply lay out the mushrooms on your mushroom towel, the one you don't mind if it gets a bit stained. Here I take just a few meditative moments to appreciate the wonder of these little nutrient-rich delicacies that only Mother Nature can create. Mushrooms act like little sponges and easily soak up moisture, so I then roll the towel gently to help wring the water from these amazing morels. Then set aside until ready to sauté. So easy. Before we sauté, we make our surprise sauce, one of my 16 secret 5-minute delicious sauces, homemade garlic aioli. The full recipe is in the link in the comments, but here is a snapshot. Crack your egg into an immersion blender jar. Pour in your favorite heart-healthy oil, a fresh squeezed lemon for brightness, champagne vinegar, and Dijon or stone ground mustard for tang. A touch of raw local honey, and garlic for a bit of spice. Finish with salt to bring everything to life. With an immersion blender, or I like to call it the magic wand, press it firmly to the bottom of the jar. Cover the egg and the garlic and combine. That's it. Creamy goodness in 5 minutes. Now, with our veg prepped, potatoes in the oven, meat salted, and our 5-minute sauce ready, we heat our pan for an easy sauté. Here is my ever-trusted carbon steel wok. You can learn more about why this wok is a game changer in the link below. With the pan hot, drizzle in your favorite healthy cooking fat. And please know the steam here is only from a residual bit of moisture from rinsing my pan earlier. You can learn more about the care of a wok also in the link below. Add your meat to the pan in small bite-sized pieces for quick and even cooking, which I do easily by squeezing the ground as it goes into the pan. Animal-sourced proteins such as beef contain the essential amino acids that humans need. Essential amino acids are necessary building blocks for our body, and we can't produce them on our own, so we must get them from our diet. I talk more about my 8 power protein principles for strength, vitality, and weight control in the link below. Remember to spread the meat evenly with space so steam can rise, which allows for browning. The flavorful fat rendered from the cooked meat I'll hold back in the pan to sauté the vegetables next. Once the meat is cooked through, I like to plate on my indestructible, easy-to-clean quarter-sheet pans, which you can also place in the oven if you need to keep your food warm before serving. But honestly, any favorite serving dish works just great. Just look at these rich caramelized bits of meat. Fabulous. And we repeat with a second batch. Again, we want room in the pan to spread the meat evenly so it can crisp up. Also remember, one of the keys to successful browning is to bring the meat to room temperature for a food-safe 20 minutes just before cooking. Oh, and I did forget to add some of the garlic scapes to the first batch of meat, so we'll add them all here into the healthy rendered beef fat, which is great, by the way, for stamina and to fend off food cravings. I talk more about the importance of fat in our diet in the link below. And then a touch of salt for sparkle. Combine everything together to ensure even flavoring, and then plate on your favorite serving platter or my easy quarter sheet pan. Take a moment to savor the experience. The next batch are mighty morel mushrooms. Here's how I like to cook mushrooms. I add them first to a dry carbon steel wok to help release any moisture from the earlier rinsing. I spread them evenly for a few moments and then push to the side to continue to sauté, but also to add in a touch of healthy cooking fat and onions. I add a pinch or two of salt for sparkle, and then stir to combine. I don't use a lot of fat when I'm cooking mushrooms, as they act like little sponges and they can turn soggy if you add the fat too early. You may have another technique which I'd love to hear. I wish you could smell how amazing this is. Only a minute or two of cooking, and then plate. And yes, you can cook these all together, but I like to do it in batches so the food can spread out for easier browning. Again, you might do it differently, and I'd love to hear about it. With the fond from the meat and mushrooms still in the pan for added flavor and nutrients, I add in our veg, brilliant green broccolini. And the process goes so fast when you're using a carbon steel wok. You stir to coat, spread evenly so steam can rise for a quick light sear, pour a bit more healthy cooking fat, here my extra virgin olive oil, a sprinkle of salt for sparkle, another stir, and then gather into a pile for a quick steam. Pour a tablespoon or two of water around the outer slope of the wok so it will hit the veg at full heat temperature. Place your lid, allowing the moisture to be trapped for steaming and softening of this more firm vegetable for just a moment or two. Vibrant green broccolini, a more delicate version of broccoli, so all parts of the plant are easy to cook. And then in goes your meat and mushroom mixture. So simple, everything done in one pan to help make life in the kitchen easier. Stir to combine. Turn off the burner and place the lid to keep your stir fry warm, then pull your potatoes from the oven. These crispy potatoes can be more concentrated on the carbohydrates, but they are packed full of flavor and nutrients and are a wonderful substitute for rice. With the skins left on, like we do here, they have more fiber than rice, which can help regulate blood sugar and feed the good microbes in our body. Plating is the best part, a chance to enjoy your good efforts. A meditative moment to enjoy the sensory experience of cooking wholesome food, free of additives and preservatives that can cause havoc to our gut microbiome. I talk more about the power of the human microbiome in the link below. A beef and broccoli stir fry with 3 surprises. Nutrient-rich, crispy, oven-roasted potatoes as a substitute for rice. Whatever vegetables look fresh from the market. And my 5-minute Mighty Mayo aioli sauce. Enjoy.